Welcome back to OG's Danger Show. So in our last video we showed you a couple options for a good truck gun. For me, a good truck gun is just something that's going to work out there, a little bit longer range than a pistol, but also something I'm not heavily invested in. If the thing were to get stolen, while it would be a tragedy, it would not be the end of the world. It's not my high dollar rifles. These are things that I don't want to really have taken out of the truck, so I'm going to secure them in the truck in a way that will prevent like a smash and grab. Most of our crimes that happen out here are when you park something at the mall and you leave something visible. Somebody comes by and breaks your window just to grab it. They'll break your $200 window to get in there and grab $5 out of your cup holder. A thief who has enough time on his hands is going to get any one of these guns out of your truck or car. But I want to mostly prevent just a typical parking lot smash and grab. Most thieves are not going to stick around long enough to really work at your truck. My truck's never really out of my sight too long, and if it is, like at a hotel or somewhere, I'm going to bring that rifle inside with me anyway. I'll show you a couple of methods here for camouflaging that while we transport it to and from, say, a hotel room or into the house. So the first thing you might notice when you peek inside my truck is that big giant heavy gauge chain hanging there. There's also a real life guitar case tucked behind the seat there. And at first glance, carrying it around a parking lot to and from a hotel room, it just looks like I'm taking a guitar inside with me. I also, you might have seen the Tough Later Mouse video where I carry an AR pistol inside of a Wilson tennis racket bag, complete with a bag of tennis balls attached to the outside to help complete the disguise. Let's go ahead and pop the seat forward and I'll show you how I attached the firearm to the chain to keep it from being grabbed. So as we pop the seat forward here, you're going to see that the heavy gauge chain is attached to the Taylor guitar case, but what could be inside? Okay, of course the chain comes in, it's mounted underneath the seat bracket. There's no way that chain's coming off. It's been doubled up here inside a little small opening in this guitar case. The guitar case happens to have back straps on it as well as a carrying handle. Makes it kind of convenient if you had to throw this thing on your back and hoof it across any distances. Let's zip open the guitar case here. I just happen to be rolling around these days with the Kel-Tec RDBC. You guys have seen that in a Tough Later Mouse video as well. The Kel-Tec, the reason I keep this in the truck is because it is a great California legal option that nobody's going to freak out about. If I happen to have this thing with me down in Los Angeles or the Bay Area, well, okay, they're going to freak out, but I don't really care. There's nothing illegal about this rifle. I want to swap out the Kel-Tec RDBC for the Fight Light SCR. That's a lot of letters. I understood there would be no spelling. I'm going to swap out those two rifles. This one is dialed in for 50 yards just the other day at the range. However, I want to have my Fight Light SCR dialed in for 100 yards mounted in this truck as we hit the road across country. Okay, so standard police handcuffs. They join the chain together and they wrap around pretty much the stock of any rifle. At some point they're going to wrap around the main structure of any rifle. You don't want to hook it into something lightweight or into one of the sights or something that could be ripped off. Yes, I am fully aware this is not theft proof. This is simply smash and grab proof. 99% of all thefts that happen in the United States out of a vehicle happen because something is visible in your car. So folks, don't leave purses or cell phones or jewelry or even a dollar bill. This is not theft proof, simply smash and grab proof. I want to keep this thing from being taken. I'm never away from this truck for too long. I wouldn't plan, it's not going to stay in the truck overnight when we're in a hotel. So I just want to be able to keep it from being smashed by some little parking lot thug. Standard police handcuffs. I keep on my keychain here. Standard police handcuff key. It's going to go in there. It's going to turn. Again, not the fastest access to this rifle, but remember, I carry a pistol on my person or very close to me in the vehicle at all times to use in an emergency to get myself to this rifle. This isn't the fastest deployment, not like in a patrol car, but it allows me to take this thing off and I'm up and running with a usable rifle pretty dang quick should I need to reach out there and touch someone a little bit further because of social distancing. So with the Fight Light, I insert it right back into the guitar case. The thing about the Fight Light is it's just a hair too long for the guitar case, so I put the muzzle of it out the end of the guitar case And I zip up the guitar case around the butt of the rifle. That is so I can carry this rifle with me without worrying that it's going to fall out the bottom of the guitar case as I head into a hotel or somewhere else where I might need to have this thing ready to go. This case not only conceals it, keeps it protected from dust, keeps it protected from all the bumps and rattles that happen in a truck, and somewhat protects the optics here, any optics that you might have mounted on a rifle, keeps those things protected so they don't get too jarred. I just dialed this thing in for 100 yards. I'd like to know that when I pull it out one day and need to use it, that I can work off of that 100-yard calibration, whether it be a 25-yard shot all the way out to an 800-yard shot using this particular scope. The rifle is not designed to go down in the case with a magazine installed, so I've popped the magazine out. I'll show you where I stow those in just a second. The Kel-Tec, however, will go in the case when I need a magazine installed, which is not legal in most states, so I'm not encouraging you to do that, but carry your rifle according to all laws. Empty chamber in most states, magazine out in most states, and most states ask you to carry the magazine in a completely different place. I'll show you where I store mine. There you can see just a little bit that sticks out the end. I usually put a ball cap over this until I can get a little bit longer guitar case. Probably would buy one in black as well. You might see down there the Taoflater case that I use when shooting shotguns with Jeff over on Taoflater Mouse. I also carry back there an old PR-24 aluminum baton from work, as well as a pair of flex cuffs. Never know when things like that might come in handy. We won't get into a vehicle emergency bag, or you saw my emergency bag that I put together for my daughters. We won't get into that or other things I might carry inside of a vehicle just yet. This is kind of all about this rifle and how I'm going to carry this thing with me. Alright, so we've got the rifle zipped up most of the way. I've got the butt hanging out of it right now. I want to show you this around here where the Monte Carlo style stock is gripped. That's where we're just going to ratchet the standard old police handcuff right around there. Not only do I keep a handcuff key on my keychain, but good Lord, where? It looks like I'm a janitor somewhere. Keep a handcuff key on the keychain, but also I keep one, another one here in the truck should I ever need to get to it to get this thing out. I have an old electro lock by Santa Cruz that goes in a police car that I could wire into this truck. I'm not a really big fan of those because I'm kind of looking at the scenario that maybe my truck is dead and there's no battery life in here. I would not be able to get this thing open unless I get one of the key options too, but I haven't purchased one of those. For right now, this is a pretty solid setup that allows me to secure a long arm in here and keep it grab proof. Again, not theft proof. Also keeps it protected from the elements, from dust, and from getting beat up behind the seat of a truck. All right, you might ask, oh gee, where do you keep your spare magazines? I'm glad you asked. In the front of this Taylor guitar case, there is a pouch for keeping, I guess, guitar picks or sheet music or who knows what guitar players keep in there. Plenty of full 30-round AR-15 magazines loaded in here. 30-round magazines loaded to 28 rounds, of course. There's a couple little 20s that help make the rifle a little more maneuverable. So at first glance, that thing looks to be a guitar case sitting behind the seat of my truck, and hopefully nobody will be too interested in the dang guitar. If they are, however, they're going to have a little bit of a struggle getting that rifle out of that guitar case, and a bigger struggle getting those handcuffs busted, getting them off of there. So, you know, again, it's not theft proof, but I also don't put in any of my high dollar rifles or shotguns into this truck. I'd rather just keep some of the lower ones. I'm not okay with a rifle getting stolen. I don't want it used in a crime out on the street. But man, if one was stolen, I'd rather it be a Kel-Tec or this Fight Light than one of the higher end AR-15s that might be in my safe right now. Alright, since we're talking about locking long guns into vehicles, on this episode of Hot Tubbing with Madonna, I wanted to show you guys a little contraption I bolted into my truck several years ago, and then now it doesn't work, so it's no longer in use. It's called the Shot Lock. And I'm sure the shot lock is a great device. It's designed to be mounted in your closet or behind the door of your bedroom, and it's supposed to lock up your rifle or shotgun and use a little key punch, which I can't get around there to even show you the little buttons on the side. It's supposed to use a little 4-key system with a combination to get in and out of it. This shot lock locked up some time ago, so there's no shot, all lock. The key punch doesn't work, the combination I entered doesn't work, so it's a complete, for me, a piece of garbage. I am not disparaging the old shot lock. I'm pretty sure it works just fine if you mount it like you're supposed to. OG did not. I mounted it in here with 4 big old screws that go all the way through the frame of my truck, and so it is on there for good. So you and I are going to grab a crowbar here real quick and see if we can't bust this thing open. So the shot lock, this keypad thing had gone tits up some time ago. Didn't open, wouldn't open, no matter how many times I tried the combination, sprayed WD-40 in there, whatever. It did work great, and I'm sure it would work great if you used it like you're supposed to, not like I did. You can see that it bent the screws. These aren't the right kind of screws, obviously, but this is what came with the shot lock, so I used them in my truck. The shot lock on this episode of Hot Tubbing with Madonna. Okay, another version of securing a firearm in a truck is the old underseat truck box. I've got one here made by the Club, the same people that made the ratcheting red stick so popular in the 1990s. Just like with the handcuff truck lock in the back, keep one of the keys on my keychain and another one hidden somewhere in the truck in case I need to get to them. Turn the lock, the little bolt pops out of the side, and you've got a little personal vault here that can hold, you know, wallets, jewelry, extra cell phone, or of course a firearm if you're going in somewhere that's a non-permissible environment where you can't use a firearm. Okay, there you have it. There's how I mount the firearm inside my truck for road travel. I hope you guys like this video. Please, 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 if you are able to, please stay armed out there. These are crazy times out there on the road and in the neighborhoods. If you have the availability to do so, I would also recommend that you lock in a long gun, shotgun or rifle, depending on what is best for you and your jurisdiction and what you feel most comfortable with. I really hope to get a hold of some of you out here on the road trip that I've known and talked with for a lot of years through Tailflater Mouse channel. So ping me below in the comments, let me know where you are. We're going to be swinging all the way out to Tennessee and Kentucky and then circling back around and trying to get back home without catching that dang coronavirus. All right, folks, I got bees buzzing me, and you know me and bees, they don't go so well. So I'll talk to you on a future video. You guys stay safe out there, and we'll see you on the next one.